My wife said it like it was a simple favor. "Don't come to the company party this year," she told me while she was getting ready in the mirror. "My ex will be there, I don't want him to feel weird." I stood in the doorway and blinked, trying to process what I just heard. I don't want him to feel weird. She didn't even turn around. She kept fixing her hair, calm and casual, like she was talking about picking up milk from the store. "I just think it'll be awkward," she added. "It's not a big deal." But it was a big deal to me. Not because her ex existed. People have pasts, I understood that. The problem was the way she said it, like my presence as her husband was the awkward part, not her ex showing up at a company event. I should have argued, I should have asked questions right there. Instead, I stayed quiet. Because lately, every time I brought up something uncomfortable, she acted like I was overreacting. So I nodded and said, "Okay." And that's when her face relaxed like she had won. That alone should have been my first warning. We'd been married for 5 years. Our relationship used to feel equal, like we were on the same team, but over the past few months, something shifted. She had gotten a promotion and started spending more time with coworkers, work dinners, meetings, events. Her phone was always buzzing, she was always busy. I didn't accuse her of anything, I didn't want to be the controlling husband, I wanted to be supportive, but support only works when respect is still there. And that request, telling me not to come because of her ex, felt like disrespect dressed up as peacekeeping. The day of the party, she got dressed like she was going to a wedding. A fitted dress, perfect makeup, earrings she hadn't worn in years, she looked stunning. I smiled and told her she looked beautiful. She said thanks quickly, already focused on her phone. As she grabbed her purse, she leaned in and kissed my cheek, a light, rushed kiss. Then she said, "Don't wait up, it might go late." And she walked out. The house felt strange after she left, too quiet, like even the walls were listening. I tried to distract myself. I turned on the TV, I cleaned the kitchen, I even started working on something from my job, but my mind kept going back to her words. I don't want him to feel weird. Why would she care how her ex feels? And why did my presence matter more than his comfort? Around 9 p.m., I checked my phone, no texts, no photos, no having fun, nothing. By 10:30, I was packing. I hated myself for it, but I couldn't ignore the feeling in my gut. The feeling that something was wrong, not necessarily cheating, but something emotional, something hidden. At 11 p.m., I got a text from her. "Everything good, busy talking, talk later." No love you and no warmth. Just business. I stared at that message until my screen dimmed. That's when I made a decision I never thought I'd make. I drove to the party. Not to cause a scene, not to fight, just to see, just to calm my own mind. The event was at a hotel ballroom downtown. I parked across the street and walked in slowly. I didn't know what I expected, maybe to see her laughing with coworkers, harmless. But the moment I stepped inside, I felt my chest tighten. The room was full of people in suits and dresses, music playing, drinks flowing, my wife's company logo on a big banner near the stage. Then I saw her, and I understood immediately why she didn't want me there. She was standing near the bar with a man in a dark suit, not just talking. Close. Too close. Her hand was resting on his arm like it belonged there. She was smiling up at him, soft, familiar, intimate, not the polite smile you give coworkers. And he was smiling back like he had history with her. I didn't need someone to point him out. That was her ex. My legs felt heavy, my mouth went dry. I stood behind a group of people and watched for a few seconds, long enough to see the details my heart didn't want to accept. The way she leaned in when he spoke. The way she laughed, touching his chest lightly. The way she didn't check her surroundings. She looked like she had forgotten she was married. And then he did something that made my stomach drop even further. He reached up and brushed a strand of hair away from her face. She didn't pull back. She smiled. In that moment, I realized her "don't come" wasn't about avoiding awkwardness. It was about avoiding accountability. I turned to leave because I couldn't stand there watching my own humiliation, but as I moved, my wife looked up and her eyes landed on me. Her smile disappeared. Instantly. Like a mask falling off. She stiffened, her eyes widened, and for half a second she looked guilty, not shocked, guilty. Then she did something that hurt more than the flirting. She walked toward me fast, not to hug me or greet me, but to stop me. "What are you doing here?" she hissed, grabbing my arm gently but firmly. I looked at her face, still beautiful, still perfectly done, but now filled with panic. I said quietly, "You told me not to come, I just wanted to understand why." She glanced back at her ex. He was watching us now, calm, almost amused. My wife swallowed and said, "This is not the time, please don't." I asked, "Don't what? Don't embarrass you in front of him." Her eyes flashed, "You're making this into something it's not." I nodded slowly, then introduced me. She froze. That silence was my answer. A wife who is proud of her husband doesn't hide him. A wife who respects her marriage doesn't worry about her ex's comfort more than her husband's dignity. She finally whispered, "He's just someone I used to date." I said, "No, he's someone you're still protecting." That's when her face changed, anger replaced panic. She said, "You're being insecure." The same word, the favorite weapon. Insecure. I looked at her and said, "If being insecure means I don't like watching my wife act single in front of her ex, then yes, I'm insecure." For a moment, she had nothing to say. Then her ex walked over. Smooth, confident, smiling like he was stepping into his place. He held out his hand toward me. "Hey, I'm Adam, good to meet you." I stared at his hand. My wife was watching like she wanted the ground to swallow her. I didn't shake his hand, I just said, "I'm her husband." His smile twitched slightly like that fact was annoying. Then he said, "Of course, she mentioned you." Mentioned me? Like I was a detail. That was the moment everything became clear. Not necessarily that she was cheating physically, but that emotionally something unfinished was still alive between them, something strong enough that she wanted to keep me away. I looked at my wife and said, "We'll talk at home." Her eyes begged me not to, not in front of him, not here. But I was done protecting her comforts. I walked out. In the car, my hands shook on the steering wheel, anger, heartbreak, humiliation, all mixed together. When she came home later, she didn't apologize, she attacked. She said I embarrassed her, she said I ruined her night, she said I didn't trust her. I listened, then I asked her one question. Why did you care more about his feelings than mine? She went quiet. And in that silence, I finally understood the real problem. It wasn't the ex. It was my wife's priorities. Because when someone truly chooses you, they don't hide you. They don't keep you out. And they don't ask you to protect the comfort of someone from their past at the expense of the person who is supposed to be their future.